The legend of Mount Arayat and Apung Sinukuan is a fascinating part of Philippine mythology. It's a story that combines local beliefs about giants, mountains, and powerful nature deities. According to the Kapampangan people of Pampanga, Apung Sinukuan was a powerful deity and the lord of Mount Arayat, and he was often associated with the forces of nature, the mountain's bounty, and tales of mighty giants. The origins of Mount Arayat, standing tall in the Pampanga region of Luzon, is a volcanic peak that has captured the imaginations of locals for centuries. Many stories explain its unique shape and presence, claiming it was once the home of giants and supernatural beings. The mountain is revered as a sacred place, where spirits and mystical entities are believed to reside. One of the oldest legends surrounding Mount Arayat tells of Apung Sinukuan, a mighty god-king who ruled the area with both wisdom and power. Apung Sinukuan was known as the god of war and the sun in Kapampangan folklore. He was the embodiment of strength, prosperity, and the protector of the Kapampangan people, who believed he provided for them through his control over Mount Arayat. The legend of Apung Sinukuan and the giants of Zambales. According to Kapampangan legend, the land surrounding Mount Arayat was also home to a race of giants. Among these giants were Apung Sinukuan and another giant known as Ari Kasla or Ari Madla, a powerful figure from the Zambales Mountains. The two giants were said to be rivals, constantly competing over who had more control, strength, and influence over the lands. The rivalry between Apung Sinukuan and the giants of Zambales often led to fierce competitions, each one trying to prove who was the strongest and who could control the most land. Apung Sinukuan, being associated with Mount Arayat, would often draw upon his power to protect his mountain and its people from any who dared to challenge his rule. He was respected not only for his strength, but for his ability to nurture and protect the land, bringing abundant harvests to the people of Pampanga. The great battle between Apung Sinukuan and Ari Madla. One of the most famous tales of the giants' rivalry tells of a massive confrontation between Apung Sinukuan and Ari Madla. According to the story, Ari Madla became jealous of the bountiful harvests in Apung Sinukuan's domain, which included the rich rice fields and lush forests around Mount Arayat. Ari Madla was known to be proud and ambitious, and he wanted to control both Mount Arayat and its resources. In a fit of jealousy, Ari Madla issued a challenge to Apung Sinukuan, threatening to take over Mount Arayat if he won. Apung Sinukuan accepted the challenge, knowing that he could not allow another giant to take control of his mountain or harm his people. The two giants prepared for battle, gathering rocks and trees as weapons and hurling them at each other across great distances. The impact of these massive stones left deep scars in the land, shaping the rivers and valleys that exist today. For days they fought, each strike shaking the earth and causing thunderous roars to echo through the mountains. The giants were equally matched, neither able to fully defeat the other. However, Apung Sinukuan, who was deeply connected to the forces of nature, called upon his divine powers to finally gain the upper hand. Summoning the power of the sun and fire, Apung Sinukuan was able to overpower Ari Madla, forcing him to retreat back to the mountains of Zambales. Apung Sinukuan's legacy and his transformation. Though victorious, Apung Sinukuan's battles left him weary. Over time, he became more reclusive, withdrawing to the peaks of Mount Arayat, where he continued to watch over his people from a distance. The Kapampangans believed that Apung Sinukuan eventually transformed into the spirit of Mount Arayat itself, eternally bound to the land he protected. The people began to call him Apung Sinukuan, meaning the one who surrenders or submits. This name reflects not only his strength and power, but also his humility and willingness to yield his physical form to become a part of the mountain. It is believed that Apung Sinukuan's spirit remains in Mount Arayat, watching over the region and ensuring its prosperity. Legends of Sinukuan's gifts and teachings. As a god-king, Apung Sinukuan was not only a fierce protector, but also a generous provider and teacher. Legend says that he taught the Kapampangans how to cultivate rice and other crops, sharing his knowledge of agriculture to help his people thrive. It was through his blessings that the lands around Mount Arayat remained fertile, and that the Kapampangan people were able to flourish. In some versions of the legend, Apung Sinukuan even provided enchanted gifts to those who showed loyalty and respect toward nature and the mountain. Some villagers spoke of receiving magical stones or healing plants from the mountain, while others claimed to have heard Apung Sinukuan's voice warning them of impending danger or natural disasters. This reinforced the belief that the mountain and its surroundings were sacred. The lasting influence of Apung Sinukuan. To this day, Mount Arayat remains a place of reverence and mystery. Locals continue to tell stories of Apung Sinukuan and believe that his presence is still felt in the mountain. Farmers, in particular, offer prayers to him before planting season, hoping for his blessing of a bountiful harvest. Travelers and climbers who visit Mount Arayat are reminded to respect the mountain, as it is still considered Apung Sinukuan's domain. The story of Apung Sinukuan and the giants of Zambales serves as a reminder of the balance between nature and humanity. It symbolizes the power of the natural world, the need to protect and preserve it, and the consequences of greed and jealousy. Apung Sinukuan, as both a god and a giant, represents the resilience of the Kapampangan people and their deep connection to their land and heritage. Conclusion. The legend of Mount Arayat and Apung Sinukuan is not just a tale of mythological giants or a territorial battle. It is a story that teaches the importance of harmony between humans and nature. Apung Sinukuan's legacy continues to inspire the Kapampangan people to honor and respect the land they live on, to maintain their traditions, and to uphold the values of humility, wisdom, and strength. For the Kapampangan people and those who visit Mount Arayat, Apung Sinukuan is more than just a figure from folklore. He is a guardian, a provider, and a symbol of the enduring spirit of Pampanga. His story is one of power, generosity, and the protective force of nature, forever linked to the mighty Mount Arayat.